Show.
Time now for some quick hits.
You gotta move quickly.
There's no time.
Move fast there, come on! And here we go on a Thursday installment of America's favorite sports talk radio segment. It is time for Quick Hits right here on the Jake Asman Show. Quick Hits this morning is brought to you by Freol Deep Penetrating Oil. Industrial strength Freol spreads deep into rusted or frozen parts, freeing them with ease. The 3-part formula delivers 3 times more lubricant. It takes less spray, less torque, and less time than any other penetrating oil to get the job done. Freol is also body shop safe, which means it's safe on paint, plastic parts, and is silicone free. You can find Freol on the shelves at any AutoZone, O'Reilly, or Napa Auto Parts store, and also at select Walmart stores. We begin Quick Hits this morning by talking about a fella by the name of Tim Tebow. You might have heard by now, Tim Tebow is officially a Jaguar. He's been practicing Jacksonville during their OTAs. Trevor Lawerence is taking note of Tim Tebow. And is Trevor Lawerence worried about Tim Tebow taking his job? Well, not exactly. But Trevor Lawerence was on the AP Pro Football podcast, and he was asked how Tebow has looked so far playing tight end.
I'm sure everyone's asking you what Tim Tebow's look like at tight end. What have you seen out of him?
He looks good. He looks great. He was in here last week for the first time, I believe, on Wednesday or Thursday. He's gotten a few practices with us. And he looks great. You can tell he's just a guy that you want to be around. Character is awesome. Just had a few conversations with him, and I can already tell. And then just a hard worker. You know, no one's going to work harder than him. And those are the kind of guys you want in your locker room that you want to be around every day. So, and then I'm excited to see what he does on the field as well. We got a few days, and he looks great. He's in awesome shape.
Basically, he stinks. That's how I interpret that. Oh, he's a great guy. I've had a couple conversations with him. Great character. Then hire him to be a coach, Urban Meyer. Honestly, here's the plan for Tebow. The bar, Ron, was set so low for him that because he maybe has showed up in shape, it's like, wow, Tim Tebow, he's really something. He stinks. He shouldn't be in the NFL. I love Tim Tebow, the guy, but it's a joke that a soon-to-be 34-year-old quarterback who couldn't throw is now in the NFL trying to play tight end. Trevor Lawerence, nice guy, but I don't believe you 1 second. There's no way in hell Tim Tebow actually looks good at Jaguars, OTA.
I'm going to say this right now. The entire nation will be eating crow when Tebow makes the Pro Bowl.
I just want to draft Tim Tebow in fantasy. So I want God on my side.
You got to. We can't be in the same fantasy football because you're going to make me take him number 1 overall.
Honestly, the battle to see which league owner is going to reach to draft Tim Tebow this year in fantasy is going to be a great storyline to follow.
Yeah, because somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to go,
100%.
Third round. Damn, got to do it.
Need Tebow. Tebow time.
Because you know what's going to happen. I can see Urban Meyer sitting in, I'm going to think a dungeon. Because that's how I like to imagine Urban Meyer drafting up a play of a tight end screen pass or something like that, or tight end pass to Trevor Lawerence, something. We've never seen a tight end really throw a ball before, and now we're going to.
I like Tim Tebow, the guy.
Tebow's going to be in the Pro Bowl.
I hate that we got
Pro Bowl, Tebow. Say it with me.
I will not. I will not do such a thing. If Tim Tebow makes the Pro Bowl, I will strip naked on this show.
Wow.
That is what I'd be willing to do. That's how
full or just upper half?
No, full.
No one really needs to see that.
Full body.
Yeah.
Tim Tebow will not make the Pro Bowl.
We don't need that in our life.
I don't even think Tim Tebow will make the team. I'm still not convinced of that.
Hey, Trevor said he looked good.
Trevor's lying through his teeth.
Trevor, no, he may not be lying. He may be saying he looks good, but he's like not good enough for the NFL. He just didn't finish the sentence.
It's a good point. Physically, he looks good. He's in shape, but he can't play tight end.
You know what?
And
he's a handsome guy. We can admit that.
Tim Tebow?
He's a good-looking man.
Tim is very handsome.
Yeah.
Once again,
married to Miss Universe.
Tim Tebow is not someone I want to knock. He just can't play football. I mean, he just can't play football.
But he's going to.
He's going to so they could sell out preseason games and sell jerseys and then cut him when he doesn't make the team.
Telling you.
Tim Tebow.
Pro Bowl.
Apparently Tim Tebow is looking great at Jaguars camp.
That's right.
Tim Tebow. Oh, my God. It never ends. It never ends.
How about this? How about instead of Tebow being coach, Tebow should be groomed right now to be the next commissioner of the NFL.
You don't think you don't think he could play tight end, Ron? You were just saying he was going to be a Pro Bowl.
Oh, no. After his Pro Bowl, after his Hall of Fame tight end career, where David Baker will someday be knocking on his door 7 years from now, because he will have 2 incredible seasons that will put him into the Hall of Fame. So 7 years from now, when David Baker is knocking on his door, NFL commissioner.
Tim Tebow, college football Hall of Famer, not NFL player.
Tim Tebow will, here's your true or false. Tim Tebow will make the Hall of Fame before Roger Goodell.
I don't know, man.
Every commissioner makes the Hall of Fame. Come on.
They always, if you do it long enough, they eventually just put you. Jerry Jones is in the Hall of Fame. He's an owner. I mean, he helped make the NFL a lot of money. Okay, great. Speaking of the commissioner and making money, the NFL is on track to have all 32 of its, well, it's not really 32 because the Jets and Giants share a venue, but to have all its teams, all 32 teams, play in front of full capacity crowds.
Who's not playing in full capacity crowd? Will it just be Jets Giants?
No. There's 2 teams that have not said they're opening back up at 100%.
No. I'm saying which 2 teams haven't said they're opening back yet.
Well, one of them, I believe, is the Broncos, but they're on track to be at 100%.
Okay.
I don't know. It's politics.
They just haven't said it yet.
Yeah,
they haven't announced it out loud.
Well, let's ask the commissioner, Roger Goodell. What's the latest?
If we were playing today, and you may have this also, 30 of our teams would be permitted to play in front of full capacity crowds. Obviously, we're going to continue to be very focused on the local and state health officials and putting safety first.
So that means 28 stadiums will be at full capacity.
28. Yes, because the Chargers and the Rams share a stadium now.
Yep.
I'm just thinking of
our teams need let's face it, our teams need their own home. Both of our teams are renting space.
Yes. Well, in fair, I would say
no, your team's renting space because that was built for the Giants.
MetLife was built for both.
No,
Giant Stadium, when it was called Giant Stadium, this might surprise some, was built for the Giants. MetLife is at least they share it, and it's equally the worst building in the NFL. Let me explain. There are stadiums that are worse physically than MetLife, but there's not a stadium that is more boring, that costs more than MetLife Stadium. It was like a $1.8 billion stadium. And it is the most overrated, bland piece of garbage you could go to. You know what MetLife looks like? A giant air conditioner van. It's awful. You look at all these new stadiums in the NFL, and the tri-state, New York, New Jersey, put together a stadium that looks like a giant air conditioner van. That's what MetLife Stadium is. It is boring. The seats are just like greenish gray. It's bland. There's nothing appealing about MetLife. It's not like Jerry World. It's not like what the Raiders did, what your team did in LA, the Rams and Chargers Stadium. It's not like, any other new stadium, all these state-of-the-art new buildings. And the Jets and Giants built MetLife in 2010, and it's a giant AC vent. Awful. It is the worst stadium in the NFL, given the price and how new it still is. The worst.
Now, FYI, the 2 teams that still have not been approved for full capacity, you're right, Broncos, and the other one is the Colts.
I feel like Indy's going to get there pretty soon. They had fans during the regular season this past year.
Yeah, isn't Indy 500 going to be just max capacity crowd?
There's like, I think it's 50%, but 50% of the Indy 500 still 150,000 fans.
Yeah. It's actually 100. It's actually 200% of Lucas Oil Field, right?
Lucas Oil Stadium, I think it is.
Is that where they're playing? I was about to say RCA Dome, but I knew that's old.
Throwback.
So that's Throwback Thursday.
There you go, TBT.
Maybe RCA Dome will have full capacity. The Colts will move there.
When did they blow that thing up?
Yes,
they did.
It'll be hard to host a football game.
It's not like the Astrodome here in the city that just sits there next to NRG Stadium.
Exactly.
Unbelievable. Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa has a better handle on the playbook, he says, in year 2. So yesterday, Tua was asked why his rookie season was not up to his own standards.
Yeah, I'd say in every aspect. getting to the line of scrimmage, kind of getting that order of operation down, my cadence, and then pre-snap reads, and then my post-snap reads, just the whole shebang with that. I felt, I wasn't comfortable with during my rookie year. So just working on a lot of those things in year 2 to, be better.
All right. He owned it.
So pretty much every aspect of his game.
I was about to say, so pretty much everything you did as a player last year was not up to your standards. Got it. I mean, look, Tua has probably the most amount of pressure on him out of any quarterback not named Carson Wentz, Sam Darnold. Like, as far as young quarterbacks or quarterbacks that are kind of on the cusp of either being labeled a bust or just never really given the chance to start again, Tua is not quite there because he's only going into year 2 and Sam's going into year 4. Wentz is on his second team. But when you consider quarterbacks under the most pressure, the Dolphins have a really good team. They won 10 games last year in spite of Tua not being great as a rookie. They benched him twice to put in Fitzpatrick to try and bail them out. You look at what's on the line for Tua. They added Will Fuller in free agency. They went out there and drafted Jalen Waddle in the first round. There's no excuse for Tua to not play like a guy that they invested the top 5 pick on in his second year. He's going to be over a year removed from that injury in college. Miami's expected to contend. The storyline for the Dolphins this year is going to be Tua. If he's not what he is supposed to be, there's going to be a lot of talk on trading for Deshaun Watson, trading for Aaron Rodgers, trading for Russell Wilson. Tua is
giving him the old Josh Rosen treatment.
I mean, at least Rosen only had a year. Tua got a full year. It wasn't great, but you're talking about a guy that better play better now in his second year. Otherwise, Miami, with its roster and the amount of picks they have over the next couple of drafts, could absolutely trade for a
say what you want to say. They'll bring back Fitzpatrick. So don't make them do it, Tua.
They'll trade for Deshaun, is what I think. And that'd be my nightmare. I don't want it. Deshaun Watson anywhere near the AFC East.
Yeah. I hear you.
Tua's playing for his job in Miami. He'll be in the NFL. But if he's not good and they win 9 games this year instead of going 11-6 and going to the playoffs, you're talking about a guy that could be on a different team next year. Miami will be aggressive and move off Tua. You have to. Can't give a quarterback forever to play. So we shall see. I mentioned this quarterback when I was talking about guys facing pressure. Carson Wentz, the new quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts. This was Carson Wentz yesterday after some practice with his new team. Asked if he feels the pressure now that he's in Indy.
There's always pressure. There's always going to be pressure. There's always going to be expectations. Those things are always going to be there. And for me, it's just, it's been the same thing my whole career. It's just go to work. Just go to work, get better every day, and block out the outside noise, good, bad, or indifferent. It doesn't matter. And, I've really felt a lot of excitement around here and a lot of, obviously we have high expectations and all of those things, but just the culture and how, it's just a one day at a time mindset. That's the mindset of this team, and that's the mindset that I'm going to take every single day I come to work.
Okay, Mr. Wentz. Well, pressure's on. Team that acquired you gave away basically their first round pick because the head coach has so much belief in you and what you were 3 years ago. Time for Carson Wentz to play like a guy that before Mahomes was kind of Mahomes. The way we talked about Wentz during that MVP season that got cut short because of the injury. Everything we said about Mahomes the year later, we were saying about Carson Wentz, if you recall.
And I think he's right. He's like half right. I think there's always going to be pressure, especially if you're an NFL quarterback. But I think he's quickly going to learn that Indy pressure is way different than Philly pressure. And I think that was part of the things that got to him because when he started playing bad, Philadelphia fan does not care. They will let you know and just keep letting you know. And you can be walking through a grocery store and you're going to have a fan let you know. He could probably have a bad game, walk through a grocery store in Indy, and they're going to be like, get him next time, Cars. And just leave it at that.
Sometimes guys just need a fresh start. When you're coming from a market like Philly, especially, I think Wentz will play well.
I think so too.
I don't know if he's ever going to be what we saw in 2017. That might have just been like.
But this is the best opportunity. I don't think he would have a better opportunity than this anywhere else.
I mean, he's going to a coach that believes in him. And Wentz seems like the kind of guy I don't want to say that he's soft, but he seems like the guy that maybe needs that war from the coaching staff.
Yeah.
You know?
He's going to a coach that, was his coach.
A coach that stuck his neck out to bring him in.
Yeah. And the coach, that, was the catalyst for, what was that, 2017? Was it 2017 season? Or maybe it was 2018. When did the Eagles win the Super Bowl?
The Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2018.
Yeah, 2018. So, it was the 2017 season
Correct.
when he was at MVP caliber before he broke his leg. So, Frank Reich was his coach then. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Frank Reich was his OC for 2 years and obviously loves him. I'm rooting for Wentz. I root for redheaded athletes, as we know on the show. And Carson Wentz represents
Although he did lose in that game of knockout.
He did. That was a great game, though.
That was close.
That was Mo Alley Cox.
He didn't go down like a chump.
Mo Alley Cox played basketball in college.
And Carson was with him.
And Carson almost won. So
yeah,
people were like, "Oh, Carson Wentz lost." Yeah, he lost to a guy that actually played college basketball. I'd be okay with losing to that guy too.
It lasted a while.
Yeah, he hung in there. Had a couple chances to go for the win. Speaking of going for the win, real quick, Ron, Astros bounced back last night, beat the Dodgers 5-2. Rookie Luis Garcia allowed no earned runs in 6 innings, pitched really well, and you must have hated this. Carlos Correa hit a home run off Trevor Bauer to take a 2-1 lead in the 6th inning. So the Astros have bounced back after they lost a really bad game 1. This was Correa on that much-needed bounce-back win.
It was great. It felt great going out there and getting this win. Obviously, last night didn't play out how we wanted to. It's one of the worst games we've played all year, and we had to come back today and make it right and go out there and perform, and we did. We got a nice win tonight.
So they split. Unfortunately, it's not a 3-game series.
No, that's the dumbest thing ever, by the way.
Only 2 games. Really dumb, because if you're baseball and you have all these, you have now full stands at Minute Maid, you're missing out on a chance to get another close to.
No, you would have, easily, right?
And these are 2 of the better teams in baseball. You want them playing as much as possible.
No, the Dodgers are back home tonight playing against the Giants.
And
that's it.
That's it.
Just get 2 games on the road against the Astros. No more, no less.
They split, and that's it. Did the Astros go to LA this year?
I think they already did.
Well, not to play the Dodgers.
No, that's right. They went to. I think they're playing the Dodgers later on.
Okay. Well, see if the
You're
Dodgers
gonna make me look it up.
See if the Dodger fan will bring it as much as the Yankee fan did when the Astros came to the
I'm pretty certain that they will.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. I'll be rooting for you guys every game, as I always do when they play the Astros. That wraps it up for a Thursday installment of Quick Hits. Coming up next, let's talk some hockey, baby. Let's do that hockey, as Chance the Rapper famously said. Islanders, for the 3rd year in a row, advance to the 2nd round of the NHL playoffs. We talk about that next here on the Jake Asman Show.
Hey, sports